What's going on, guys? Snake Eyes here, playing some more Dark Souls 2, and in this video we're going to be doing a weapon showcase, and the weapon we're going to be showcasing today is the Santier Spear. Now if you don't know how to get Santier Spear, all you have to do is go into the beginning area of the Doors of Pharos, keep along the right side of the wall, and you'll eventually come across a door with 3 Pharos contraptions near it, one on either side of the door and one inside the water. You don't need to activate all 3 of them, just activate the one inside the water, and that's going to lower the bottom third of the door. Behind the door you're going to run into a Mastodon, but he can't get out, so you can pretty much use bow and arrow attacks, kill him pretty easily, and after you kill him, go further in and you'll see an iron lock box, and the iron lock box contains the Santier Spear. Now when I first got this weapon, I'll be honest, I didn't really like it, mainly because I didn't take the time to actually pay attention to it. And as it stands right now, this is actually my favorite weapon to take with me on PvP, mainly when I'm fooling around, but also it's pretty damn good if you just want to keep a person guessing. And as it stands right now, it actually has 4 different weapon type movesets. When you use your one-handed moveset, you're able to use, I believe, all 4 of the weapon types. When you're using it on 2 hands, you're only able to use 2 of them, but still, all in all, it adds a lot of variety. And to be honest, it's one of my favorite moves. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the moveset, and then I'll get into the details on how you go about unlocking all 4 of the movesets for this weapon. So the one-handed R1 is actually a spear attack, while the one-handed R2 is a halberd move. The running attack for R1 is a falchion moveset, while the rolling attack is a twin blade. The backstep is also falchion, I believe, yeah. And the two-handed moveset with the two-handed R1 is a twin blade move, while the two-handed R2 is twin blade with a halberd follow-up. The running attack for two-handed is actually, let me see, is a halberd, while the backstep I believe is a halberd as well. So all in all, with two-handed you're able to use halberd and twin blade, and then with one-handed you're able to use spear, halberd, twin blade, and falchion. If you take the time to learn the moveset and which moves you want to use while you're in PvP, this can actually be the best weapon that you can take with you. It has a lot of variety between the hard-hitting moves and the moves that you would want to use if you want to keep your opponent at a distance. It also has a nice moveset if you want to close gaps between you and your enemy, if he's using a pyromancy or any other type of magic. All in all, really good. A lot of variety, and if your opponent isn't used to fighting against Santier Spear, then you might want to go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the specifics of this weapon. Now, the beginning stats of this weapon are 133 base attack, and I'm saying that right now because since then I've actually infused it and I've upgraded it, so the stats are going to be a little bit different. I'll tell you those in a little bit. But the base attack for this weapon is at 133. The counter strength is at 120, while it does 35 poise damage per hit. The weight on it is not too bad. It's actually kind of average considering it's a two-handed move. It's a two-handed weapon. It weighs 12 units, but it has 500 durability. Now, this is actually kind of what plays into what I was talking about on going about unlocking the movesets. I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed the 2 different types of Santier Spear on the thumbnail, but also the fact that when I showed you how to get it, you saw a pretty big head at the end of the weapon, and then now that you see it now, it's actually broken off. That's because pretty much after you get this weapon, you have to go through the 500 durability in order to unlock the moveset. If you don't, it's gonna have a pretty poor moveset, not very useful, and you have to break it in one shot. You can't rest at a bonfire, because if you rest at a bonfire, it's going to reset itself. A lot of people used to hit the wall and pretty much break it that way. I did that on my first character. It took me somewhere near an hour to do, but I actually found another way that's pretty fast. Keep in mind that it's still not that fast, but it's good enough. I would go into the shaded woods, kill one of the lion warriors, and hit his dead body. And when you hit his dead body, it takes 3 durability off of your weapon each hit. So I pretty much spent, I think, about 15 minutes breaking down the second Santier Spear that I had on my other character. All in all, you do it the way you want to do it. Unfortunately, the weapon corrosion pit in Drangleic Castle and the weapon corrosion beetles in the Shrine of Amana, they don't take away durability on your weapons. They only do it on your armors and rings. I tried doing that because I thought that that would be a really fast way to do it, but I've already tried it. It doesn't work. That was at patch 1.03, so maybe they'll update it, but to be honest, I doubt it. The fastest way that I found was hitting the Lion Warriors bodies and pretty much doing it like that, and for 15 minutes, considering that the last time I spent was near an hour, I'll take it. But you have to break it, and then once it's broken, you never have to worry about repairing it. You cannot repair it after that. But also keep in mind that if you want to clear areas with this weapon, you don't need to sit there and worry about it. A lot of the weapons, especially katanas, if you try to clear a pretty big area, you have to worry about either carrying repair powders or carrying backup katanas because the durability is so low. But with this weapon, once it's broken, it stays broken. You get no penalties for that. You actually get bonus for breaking it for getting, I guess, more expansive moveset. And from there on, you never have to worry about it again. The one thing that I forgot to go ahead and talk about is the requirements for this weapon. It takes 20 strength and 22 dexterity, so it does require your character to be kind of up there as far as the strength and dexterity goes. You can wield it with 10 strength, but you'd have to two-hand it all the time, kind of limiting yourself even more if you don't take full advantage in going ahead and actually just upgrading your strength to 20. It has no scaling, so this is actually a perfect weapon to take along the raw path. And if you don't know what the raw path does, pretty much it takes away all scaling but gives you a buff on your base damage. So considering that this weapon has no scaling and the raw infusement taking away your scaling, you're not losing anything, and what you're gaining is added base damage. And since then, I've actually upgraded it. I haven't maxed it out. I have a raw Santier spear +4. It does 214 base damage. I actually looked real quick because I didn't want to level it up to level 5, mainly because I'm trying to save it for other weapons. But at level 5, it gets 230 base damage, raw Santier spear +5. That's what it does. And like I said, it's pretty good. I did want to show this one fight that took about 2 minutes long. I was facing an opponent that was using full smelter set, and I'm not going to show it right here, mainly because I want to use it on a PvP video that I'm working on right now. And the reason why I wanted to show that one so bad was because even though this weapon wasn't doing a lot of damage on him, with the variety that the move set that this weapon has on it, I was able to actually pretty much win. And he was using a fully upgraded malformed skull with fire infused on it. He hit me twice, and that third kill would have killed me, but each hit I was doing on this guy was somewhere around like 80, and I think he had some pretty high vigor because it took a really long time. Like I said, most matches, depending on who you're fighting, doesn't really take that long. And for me to have a full 2.5 minute fight with this guy, using this weapon, it was something I really wanted to show off for this weapon showcase. But I'm pretty sure you guys want to see multiple fights and not just one long drawn out one, so I decided to save that one for another day. But in these fights that you're seeing right now, keep note at the running two-handed that I'm doing with the halberd spinning attack. It's actually not too bad at stun locking these guys and knocking them out of the move sets that they're gonna do. I was actually pretty surprised on how many times I would do the running attack and they were gonna do an attack as well, but when my attack connected first, it actually knocked them out of their move. So like I said, that's actually kind of something that I was actually really surprised happened a lot, and this was against some pretty armored people. And I know a lot of people are saying that poise doesn't exist in this game. It doesn't, but with this weapon, it almost seems like it doesn't. I can tell you for sure when I was fighting the full smelter set person with this weapon, it existed for him. So it made the fight a little bit more difficult, but all in all, it proved that this weapon, when used right, actually does some pretty decent work. One of my favorite PvP weapons so far, and just hands down a very unique weapon. I really like what they did with this one. I definitely recommend anybody picking it up, especially if they meet the requirements of 20 strength and 22 dexterity. Pretty much farm for Twinkling Titanite and the Shrine of Amana. Upgrade this a couple of levels. Give it a raw infusement, and if you have any magic buffs that you can use, go ahead and slap that on this one too. And I would be surprised if you didn't have a good time with this weapon. But make sure you learn the moveset, because if you really know the moveset and you know which weapons or which attacks that you want to do on certain situations, I guarantee you, you're going to be having a good time with this weapon. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a quick video because I have a couple of things that I need to do. Don't feel the need to watch it if you don't want to. Like I said, it's going to be pretty quick, but that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Like I said, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, take care.